So hi Shreya, I think everybody knows you, and you are the LinkedIn girl according to your profile, and we learn a lot from your content on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter as well, and we are very inspired by you. So for me, for example, when I get people on a call, um, their highest budget is $400 to $500. So if I want people who would pay me $1,000, let's say, and that is the higher package for me. So how do I qualify people while I reach out to them?
When it comes to qualification, and especially if it's only qualification based on the budget, I recommend adding that question as like adding those budget options as a question in your, pre-call booking form. So what happens is many times you're ending up speaking to way too many people and you're spending so much time. And
Yeah.
only after giving them like 20, 30 minutes of your time do you realize that they're not qualified for your service at all. And there was, taking this conversation forward was not required.
Hmm.
So the best thing you is have some like I would suggest go to Calendly, set up a call booking form. That's one thing, but especially set up a routing form. So a routing form allows you to basically ask as many questions as you want, but also add some sort of logic to these questions. So
Hmm.
let's say one of your questions is related to budget, and if their budget is like you can have let's say three options. One is up to $500 per month. Then the second is between 500 to $1,000 per month, and the third one is 1,000 to 1,500 per month or 1,000 plus per month.
Hmm.
So based on what answer people select, you can take them to that particular call booking. So in my case, when somebody says that their budget is below a certain amount, they get taken to a paid strategy call booking, which is a 45-minute call. It's paid, so they have to kind of book a slot if they are interested in just the strategy. And the second option is if they select a budget that kind of falls under our range of services and it fits with us along with the other questions on the form as well, then they can book a discovery call, which is free. And this is basically a sales call that we call it, right? So it's very simple, it's automated, you don't have to do anything. It's just so important to have the right questions and to set up the right logic, because you don't want to disqualify leads based on certain things, like especially if it's just budget, that's another thing. But you can actually use this more strategically to also disqualify people who are maybe looking for, let's say you offer video editing services, but they're looking for something that goes more into production and not just editing.
Hmm.
So if they select like one of those options, or if they don't select an option that is there in your form, then maybe they get some other link. So there's a lot of ways to play around this, but
Hmm.
just for budget, if you're looking, then just add a logic to the budget responses and you're good to go.
Yeah, I never thought about this. We can qualify beforehand asking about their
Yes.
budget. Yeah. My second question was that when we reach out to such people, let's say we qualified people and we have a list of people. So when we try to reach out to them, what is the best way that we can reach out to them? So these are the people who are busy, on LinkedIn or in their business and maybe not that active on LinkedIn. So what is the best way to get their attention to us while reaching out?
So you have to look at either it could be LinkedIn or cold email. It's more about, I think, reaching out, or rather, outreach comes mostly down to volume. So you want to make sure that you are reaching out to enough people. So a lot of times people say that, I reached out to people, but nobody's responding. I'm not closing clients. I don't know where to reach out to people. But it's usually not the where, it's the volume. Like if you send 10 emails and that's it, and you never follow up, then you're not going to hear a response from 10 people in like 1 month. But if you email, let's say 20 people every single day, like 20 different people every single day, and you regularly follow up with all these people that you've reached out to, in a month, you're reaching out to 600 people.
Mm.
So 20 into 30, 600 people. And then out of those 600, I'm sure at least 10 will get back to you and book a call with you. So obviously, you want to optimize in a way that you get more responses over time.
Hmm.
But I don't think it's a problem of where people are active. It's more like, who is your target audience? Where would they be more active? Where would they be more willing to like actually check their inbox, or messages or emails or whatever.
Hmm.
And from there you can also think about um, how do you improve the quality of the outreach message, because it's, again, like I said, it's not just about reaching out and being like, I'm not hearing back from them. It's about how many people have you reached out to? How many shots have you taken? And are you improving the quality of those shots that you're taking every single time?
Yeah. So many people like say that we can try sending out a free post. So does that work? How do you think giving a free sample or free trial works in this case?
Yeah, I think this is all case by case basis and it's a personal decision. There is no right or wrong when it comes to freelancing, when it comes to sales, when it comes to persuasion and negotiation. It's all up to you. I think when it comes down to like deciding whether you should do a free sample or not, it depends a lot on whether, first of all, are you a beginner and you're looking for an opportunity to like just get started, get that first client, get things going. Then yes, free samples will be important because you don't really have that sort of testimonial, social proof, case study to onboard clients quickly.
Mm.
So instead of like, I don't recommend creating a sample for everyone. What I would say is you can reach out and you can tell people that I would like to create a sample for you. If you're interested, then please let me know. Something like that. A lot of ways people pitch me is saying, Shreya, I have edited this video for you. Let me know if you would like me to send it across. That's it. That's it. And then once I say yes, send it across, that's when they take out some time to edit the video and send it to me. So they are basically getting a response from me first. So they know I'm interested in seeing at least what they have to
Mhm.
offer. Then they will put in the work. So it's not like they're reaching out to 100 people and they will edit it for
Yeah.
100 people. Wait for a response. And finally, one more thing that comes in here is that when they're editing the video, they're not taking on videos which will take like an hour or so. They
Mm.
will edit a video in a way that will take like 10 minutes and it's done. That's it. So you want to take on sample tasks which are very uh, you know, very resourceful, very impactful, and they don't take up too much of your time or mental space or energy, and something that's easily replicable. So you don't
Mm.
want to create something that is just for one person, but just have like a few templates and you just repurpose those for each lead that you're reaching out to, and that makes life easy. Yeah, just
Okay.
don't turn this into a whole different like working for a client. It's not that. So don't turn it into that.
Yeah. So just send across a free sample, which also makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Carrie, do you have any questions?
Yeah. So, Shreya, recently I had a very close friend who lost one of her biggest clients because he decided to automate everything using Taplio on LinkedIn. So, that automatically brought about a fear in us of the fact that AI is advancing. We all know that right now it is very robotic, there's no personal touch, but with time that could improve as well with the right prompts, right? AI could be able to generate like really emotional and good quality content. So, in circumstances like that in the future, how do you think it's best appropriate to adapt and slowly upskill in a way that we're never irrelevant?
I think one of the things is you have to find a positioning that is different, right? So, what factor would make you irreplaceable by AI? For example, one of the things is when you use these tools, your account can get banned, especially on LinkedIn. It's not so much on Twitter. Twitter is still accepting of all these tools, but on other platforms, like if you're linking up your LinkedIn with a platform, we've had so many people lose their accounts, and that's why in our agency we don't do that. We don't put you under the risk of losing your account. That's the first thing. So whenever somebody says, oh, I could just schedule it, which actually nobody really says anyway, but in case somebody says that, then we're very clear that okay, we can also do that for you. Instead of doing it manually, obviously we can schedule it. um, but you are risking your account, you're risking losing everything you're building. One fine day it'll be gone, and then that's it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is also in terms of the positioning, right? So what is the biggest pain point of your client? In our case, for example, it's that they don't have time. So
Mm.
when someone doesn't have time, they don't have time to forget writing the post, but they don't even have time to like just even copy paste and publish the post. They don't have time to schedule, like log into an automation tool and copy paste everything and schedule it. No. And if we are specifically talking about LinkedIn, LinkedIn has its own scheduler now as well. Like you can just go to the LinkedIn app and there's a tiny clock thing so you can
Yeah.
schedule every. But yeah, it's about positioning. It's mainly about positioning and education. So there has to be some sort of awareness that until LinkedIn is confirming that, hey, like we allow these tools and you won't lose your account, Until that point, you're just putting your account under risk for that. And where if it comes down to content creation, basically, if they say that, I can do this with AI instead, then again, it comes down to like, what problem were you really solving for them? Were you solving, if you're solving just like, I'll just write your post, that's not a big enough problem. If you say, I will grow your account, that's a big problem. If you say, I will help you make more sales or get more inbound leads, that's a big problem. If you say, I will help you save time, like I will literally automate your LinkedIn, I will automate your LinkedIn so that you don't have to spend any time kind of doing anything at all on LinkedIn. So all these are much bigger problems than, hey, I'll write a post for you just so you have something to publish, right? So position yourself in a way that is grand, is something that AI cannot do, and is something that adds more value that goes beyond, I can write 5 posts for you every month.
Do you offer a guarantee in like in your as part of your offer? You include a guarantee?
There are very specific offers, like we have 2 or 3 main offers that we're running right now. One of them has a guarantee because that's the nature of the offer, but that's it.
Okay.
So it depends on the nature of the offer as well.
Okay. So you wouldn't say it's like a must to have a guarantee if you want to charge high ticket?
It's not a must. I mean, it's not about having a guarantee or not having a guarantee. It's like, again, you have to be realistic. I think this is so important
Yeah,
to be.
true.
A lot of people,
Yes.
like when I'm hiring, people will say, I can write posts that will get like millions of views. Yes, you may have written that, but you cannot promise that to a client. You cannot say, within 1 month, we're going to take you from this 1,000 followers to 25,000 followers. It's not going to happen. It may have happened. Like we've had a lot of clients, like for us, our success, like our case studies are so strong because we have seen drastic change in our clients' profiles within a span of 1 month. But that's not, that's, what do you say? Like that's proof of what has happened. That's not a guarantee for what will happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, very specific with guarantees, like very clear based on what the client's requirements are as well, because you want to make sure that their requirements are not, um, what do you say? Mm, that their requirements are not just something random. Like they're realistic. They shouldn't be unrealistic, and they shouldn't be like too hyper about these things. And second, also in terms of what are you really doing for them? Do they have clarity? Because oftentimes when you start working with a client, it's different. Like their entire thing changes from what they had said first before they started working. So you need to stay on the same level and define all of those things as well.
Yes, thank you. That does answer my question.
Okay.
Senza, anything else?
Yeah, I have. So recently somebody reached out to me for a brand deal. So when you grow followers, you have people who are interested in brand deals, and we also want, if you want to, reach out to people for brand deals, or if a brand deal comes to you, how do you tackle that? How do you price such things?
Honestly, I don't really care for brand deals. It's not my priority at all. So I have a manager. My manager will handle the queries, and I will probably do like 3 or 4 brand deals in a year, and that's it. Like that's not a priority, and it's not something I'm fond of, because I would rather focus on, like, if I really want to promote something, then yes, I can reach out and be like, can we have a collaboration here or an affiliate thing going on here? But that's something that's a tool or product that I would genuinely be using and genuinely recommend. So yeah, I'm not very keen on brand collabs, but if something comes in, it's just my manager will handle everything.
Okay, so you have a manager too.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But do you have like a base price that you think we should have in case people do approach for brand deals?
It depends on your engagement rate, on your follow count. It depends on the type of audience, the location, like the location that the audience resides in. It depends on your influence, like your clear, like your real influence, not the influencer influence, but the real influence that you have on people. And it depends also on just your branding, your positioning. Because for Me, also one of the reasons I was very keen on doing brand collabs when I had first started on Instagram, but I realized that the pay was not matching up to the kind of expectations I had. And I have always positioned myself as a premium freelancer, like all my ebooks are priced premium, all our services right now as an agency are premium. Our offerings are obviously also premium, not just cost wise, but also experience and deliverables wise. And I think it was only in terms of collaborations where I didn't see that and it didn't match with what I wanted or what I think I can do. So that's why I haven't taken up brand collabs yet. And it's a lot of back and forth, honestly, a lot of negotiation. So you have to decide whether this is something you're willing to do. Again, I will say something though about brand collabs. It's also about volume, right? Because if let's say you are getting 10 brand deals a month and they're paying you like $300 to $500, that's still $3,000 $5,000 a month, which may be significant and dependent obviously on how much time you spend and things like that. On the other hand, you could be looking for like just one brand deal which will pay you $5,000, and
Hmm.
that's it. So there's, I mean, from the money making point of view, can you make money through collaborations? Yes. I mean, there's a lot of different ways based on what you agree to. But again, I do care a lot about like how much time I'm putting in for things, because collaborations is not my, it's not on my priority list anywhere. My agency is, my education, like teaching people is, and those are the two main things I would focus on.
You mentioned that you make the experiences premium, and that really stuck to me. So, how do you make clients' experiences premium? Like we can deliver a good quality work that is premium, but how do you make the experiences premium?
That's a good question. You know, like generally all your questions are really good. They're making me think. So yeah, thank you for that. Both of you. Both of you. Okay, so in terms of having premium experience, I think it just comes down to your communication, right? Because I mean, if you think about anything, like if you think about friendships, right? Okay, you have a good time when you're hanging out and you go out and you have a good time, you're spending time together, you're talking, you get along and all of that. But what really keeps like friendship going is that you're still reaching out to each other. You're still talking on the phone when even when you can't meet. You're still like just checking up on them. You're still updating them on things. It's the communication that actually maintains that relationship. And even if you like I live abroad, so if you move away or whatever, it's only the communication that will keep the bond strong and have that clarity that okay, what's going on here. So the exact same thing translates into your client relationships as well. You want to keep them updated on what's going on. You want to do like regular reporting. You want to ask them like just, you know, once a week, just how are things going, and or what happened with that person you were speaking to, or what happened to that comment you mentioned, you know, you really liked, or this person that you met, like how did that go? So you just want to keep checking up on them. And the other aspect of this whole premium experience is that how fast are you at solving problems? Speed is such an important thing, because usually when a client comes up with like feedback on content, they come up with they come up with, okay, I need this to be done. Like, can you do this? Can you do that? I'm not saying accepting unreasonable expectations or tasks. That's not what I'm saying at all. But let's say you've received feedback. How quick are you to solve them? And how good are you at solving them? Because I think it's easy to write, but once somebody gives you feedback, you have to implement it exactly in the way that they gave you. So if they say, I don't like this line, I want something like this, and instead of creating something like this, you create something like that,
Mm.
then for them it's okay, I have to give feedback again on this entirely new thing, although I've already given feedback on that. So you don't want to like add stress and pressure to them by, you know, just not really listening to them or understanding their requirements, but just this is all a part of a premium experience. So again, if you think about like, you know, when you are in a hotel and let's say you run out of shampoo because they're so tiny all the time,
Mm.
you run out of shampoo and you call them and say, hi, I'd like to get some shampoo, please. Now, if you go to any luxury hotels, or actually not even luxury, if you like, if you go to a hotel that really cares about its customers, you will see that you'll have a shampoo bottle like right outside your door within like 30 minutes or so, no matter how big or busy the hotel is. And then there are some places where you just have to keep calling like, hi, I'd asked for a shampoo bottle, where is it? And then in the night again, you're like, hi, I'm still out of shampoo, no one's fixed it. Like, can I just get a shampoo
Yeah.
bottle? Doesn't matter how much you've paid, even if you've paid a little bit or if you've paid a lot, this is going to this is just a small lagging thing that's going to ruin your experience in some way. You may still like a lot of things about the hotel, but you'll be like, you know what, I had asked for the shampoo bottle and they just didn't bring it to me in time, and it's just
Yeah.
annoying me now. So it's those kinds of things where it's the smallest of things that you won't even think about that really enhance your client's experience and makes it, okay, this is someone I would really like to work with, and because they're so prompt, they're so proactive, and they actually genuinely care about me. That's how
Mhm.
it works.
So I think it all comes down to, showing them that you actually really care about them.
Yes.
Yes, not only when they ask it from you, but also when they are not asking, like you are just giving
Being
updates.
proactive. Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Carrie. I'm just processing what you said, and it's really helpful.
So,
Yeah.
So Shreya, Senza and I have recently been struggling a lot with upskilling because we have realized that a lot of people are putting out courses for people at the beginning stages, and a lot of resources that are being put out in the market are all for basics beginners. So at the level that you are, I mean, you're like so much more advanced than us. Even I can imagine how difficult it must be for you to upskill. So how do you, what kind of resources do you look at, and how do you keep your upskilling game going?
One thing is that I've obviously invested in a lot of courses, and I mean like super high ticket. So first is you have to be open to investing like crazy amounts of money, crazy amounts of time and resources into getting that level of, information. So that's the first thing. So if you're looking like in the range of, let's say, up to like $200, $300, you won't really find anything that's as useful. You might, like, some people do have really good like self-paced courses,
Mm.
but I think after a point you don't need a course, you need a coach. You need someone who can tell you, this this is what you need to do now, this is what you need to like just ignore, this is what you need to stop doing because you're wasting your time. You need someone to tell you that, and that can cost you anywhere between like 1,000 to even like $10,000 per month. So that depends on exactly how much you're willing to invest and the ROI you're getting from it as well, obviously. But I've realized that one of the major things about upskilling is having a lot of patience, because when I think about offers, right, I've spent a year trying to figure out how to kind of change my offer and bring it to a point where it's something that can be repeated. It's something that is higher ticket, higher value, and it's something that we can charge really high amounts for. And I think the only way those things came to me are like even like how to hire or how to train people or how to systemize things, how to like improve client communication and experience. All these things just came from actually experience more than, you know, more than trying to learn something,
Mm.
just, trying to find something to learn. So it's like, for example, if there is a phase where I'm like, okay, I'm hiring now, I will do it my way. And then wherever I'm stuck, I'll probably just look something up on Twitter. I don't really watch YouTube, but I like Twitter. I think so many people have really good threads for free where you can learn how certain things. So let's say hiring form, and I'll just literally use Twitter as my Google search machine. I'll type something out like hiring form, like templates or something like that. I'll usually find something by one of my favorite, creators or so, and I'll use that. I'll just start implementing that. So I am the kind of person who needs information in bits and pieces, and I will only get the information I need. I will try not to overwhelm myself by putting myself through a course. But even if I purchase a course, I'll just watch the bit I know I need right now. That's it. And that's how I will progress through the course. And I found that helpful because then you're really upskilling. Then you're not just trying to rush into the process, but you're dialing things down and you're focusing on singular aspects one at a time, improving upon them, and then you're progressing to the next thing. So you're really learning rather than just being like, this is just a task
Rather
on my
than
list
just
that I think about.
consuming. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So you said that you package your service in a premium way. So
Mhm.
if I may ask, how does that package look like? Like a premium package, how does that look like? Different from the package that maybe we are giving to our clients.
I think premium packaging, first, I'm going to keep harping about positioning because that is mainly it. It's not that we've changed a lot in our deliverables. It's that first, we have much better case studies now. We have more social proof. We have numbers to show. So, first is like we have proof that we are really good at what we do, and that there are very, like, there's possibly no one who can match with us in this market. That's the kind of case studies you need. That's the first thing. Second thing is, again, your positioning. So when you are someone who has a lot of social proof, who's good at what they do, who has the confidence on a sales call to, to pitch, to be very clear about what it is you can do and you cannot do, and also the confidence to charge certain amounts. And again, like, just when I say confidence, it means like, your work is worth that value. All these things like really add to the kind of positioning that you have. And the positioning will only improve with the bigger the pain points that you're solving. So like I said, writing 10 posts or 5 posts or whatever is not a pain point. You're just writing. When you say I can save you all that time because you're a busy person, when you say I can help you get more clicks on your landing pages, on your ebook sales pages, and help you make more sales, that's something that's higher value. When you say that I can help you convert all these followers into newsletter subscribers, because subscribers are people you own, like it's an audience you own. It's not something that anyone can take away from you. Like, it cannot be banned, right? It's something you always have. If you say that I can do this for you, then again, that's an additional, like, it's a value add. It's solving a bigger problem than I'll make sure you're active on LinkedIn. So it's all of that. And finally, it's also the audience you're pitching to. So a lot of people try to pitch to like other freelancers and be like, I'll help you get more leads and stuff. But if the freelancer themselves are making, let's say, $2,000 to $3,000 per month, they cannot pay you more than, like, even 500 would be like really generous, right? So if you are targeting people who don't have the bandwidth to pay, or the intention to pay, like if they don't really get much value, or they don't have that inclination already, then that's a problem, and it doesn't make sense to try to create a high ticket offer for them. Then the audience isn't ready for it. So that's also something to think about. So yeah, in terms of your social proof, all your work experience, testimonials, all of that. Second is in terms of your positioning, that includes your client experience. And third would be this, right? So who you're targeting and what kind of problem you're solving for them.
Yeah. So yeah, again, we came back to the first question. We can qualify them on the with that form as well.
I just have one last question. So yes, money starts to matter, right? Like, after you hit certain income goals, you realize that you don't need as much money as you thought you would. At least this is in my case. So, I'm really struggling to set other goals for myself. Like, it was always like, in terms of revenue, I wanted to hit certain amount. And I can imagine that, it could possibly be the same for you. After you hit like a certain revenue, you don't keep chasing higher and higher, right? You want like to see like other metrics and other ways that you can measure your success. So how do you, as like, a big business owner that big, how do you set goals for yourself that keep you motivated?
Always increasing the financial goal. It's
Oh.
never, yeah, it's never like, okay, this is nice. That never happens. I always think once I hit this, that would be nice. But as soon as I get there, I'm like, it's like, set this goal and you think this is it. Like, this is the top of the mountain. But you get to that place and then you realize that this is not the top of the mountain. This is actually just one small step towards this never-ending mountain. And yeah, so I mean, for me, like, there's a lot of other things I want to do as well, and I do understand the importance of having high revenue, having high cash flow to be able to do those other things. So it's not just about, oh, I want to make money because I want to make money. It's about, I want to make money because, you know what, I have other things I want to do which need money. The truth is, everything in life right now needs money. So yeah, to make those things happen. And I've always been the kind of person who just like gets there and okay, on to the next thing. So
yes. No, I love that. I love that perspective that, you need money because you want to do other things that need money.
Yes.
Because after, like, I've heard so much about the fact that, you shouldn't keep wanting more because then you just keep getting greedy and you're never really satisfied and fulfilled in the moment. So I meant
Yeah.
like, in terms of that, like I want to feel fulfilled in the now, but I also want like business goals that still keep me motivated. So I love this perspective of like looking at it as a means.
But like in terms of fulfillment, I will say one thing so important I have learned, and I think because my parents have always told me this is no matter how much money you make, don't change your lifestyle. Not yet. Like don't change where you live, don't change how much you spend, don't change the brand of clothes you wear, or don't change your car. Like get something and just keep it. Just keep it. That's it. And every month, like keep your you can be a bit extra, like you can set a budget that's a little bit overboard than what you normally would spend. That's fine, but stick to it for like the next 10 years, because what happens is then you're not adding pressure to like earn more and spend more. That's not what you're doing. You're just earning more. That's it. And that, I think that's where fulfillment comes from, right? Because you don't have to do all this decision making like, okay, now should I buy a new car? Should I get a diamond ring? Should I like move to this house, or should I? You don't have to think of these things at all. And that for me is like, it's peace. Like I feel really good that I don't have to make these decisions just because I don't know, it's orders from my parents or whatever you want to call it. But I think it's very helpful for me because I don't think about these things that would actually add so much stress to my life. And the second thing about being fulfilled is to find something like, just because you're chasing a goal doesn't mean that you stop doing everything else. I still focus, like for me, doing this is very fulfilling. I feel like this completes my life, to be able to share what I've learned, to be able to help people make more money, to be able to help people change their lives and dramatically improve their lifestyle, all of that, help improve their mindset. For me, this is very fulfilling. I don't need to create content for any other reason, because Instagram, I don't really get clients. I just teach there. I teach people how to freelance. That's it. I don't need to do it as such, but that's the side of me that I feel is very me. It's something I love to do and I find it fulfilling. So yeah, like, and there's a lot of other things that don't have to be materialistic or don't have to be money focused, that you can just find fun. I like driving. I love driving. So I'll just go out for an hour and come back. That's it. For me, that's a nice day. Like it just completes my day. So yeah, like you don't have to wait until you get to a certain number to be like, now I can enjoy and feel fulfilled. No, life is still happening. You're still living, and years are still passing. So yeah, don't just waste it doing just trying to chase a goal. That's it.
Yeah. I think your Instagram Q&As are really, really helpful because nobody does it. At least I don't know of someone who does it. And whenever I have real-time problem, and I don't really ask a question to you, but when I have something, I just install Instagram and I ask it in your Q&A, and you happen to answer all the time. And
Really?
that is
Okay.
yeah, that is so helpful because I ask very specific question, and I think that interests you. And yeah, I have always gotten my answer from you, and that was really helpful because we need somebody who is available at the right now. I'm emotional. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to be on this
We are
call.
very grateful for you like taking out this time.
Yeah, you have helped me a lot. You are the reason I'm on LinkedIn and whatever I'm doing. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's all. That's all I want to say.
Yes.
By the way, I do want to say, like, both of you, I know you said that you've not done this before, but some of the best questions I've heard in the longest time, like genuinely, because they were so specific, so on point. So great job. And I think you should do more of this. Like if you start a series and if you start like interviewing people and just use these clips on Instagram or LinkedIn, I think you really have something here, because like you said, you ask specific questions. If I've always answered your question, for like information, I get at least 250, 300 questions every Q&A on Instagram. If you're saying I have answered most of yours, then yes, you have something. So yeah, just
So okay. Yeah, I'll think about that. Now we have less than 1 minute left because yeah, we are on a free trial. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful time and answering our questions. And yeah, I hope we talk soon
yes, thank you so much.
again. Thank you. Bye.